Hello guys, we want to thank our proud sponsors Ecotech Solutions. Ecotech Solutions specialise in the repair of laptops, mobile phones and tablets. Use a code FIXIT with Not Just Boxing to get 20% off. Thank you guys.
Thank you to our proud sponsors Amigos. Amigos is one of the best Mexican food places in Portsmouth. Use this code on screen to get 20% off. Cheers.
I'd like to thank our sponsors Manscaped, one of the leading male grooming companies in the world. Please use the code NJB20 to get 20% off. Thank you.
Hi guys, welcome to Not Just Boxing Podcast. We're here today with Sam Midge Noakes. He's a 9-0 professional with 9 knockouts under Frank Warren. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing very well, thank you boys. Very well.
Nice. How's your day going, alright?
Yeah, it's going alright. I ain't really done a bit of roofing this morning, but other than that, I've been alright. Nice and chilled.
Solid. And you're in camp now, is that right?
No, I think, I've not obviously no date's been confirmed yet, but I think I'm about 10 weeks away roughly, so just ticking over nicely at the minute, enjoying the food.
What's your sort of food, go-to food?
My go-to, to be honest, I eat mum's cooking because I know that's good for you, yeah, but I'm just, I'm a little bit of a chocoholic really. I just can't get enough of it.
What chocolate?
Just anything, man. I'm easy.
Get that dark chocolate, mate.
Yeah, I'm easy, boys.
Do you still eat in camp? Are you quite flexible?
I am, to be fair. Like, I don't mind just a little bar. I don't eat none of them pound bars in camp. They ain't no good, but a little bar, chocolate bar a day keeps the doctor away, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? So.
Nice. So obviously you're 9-0 now. You've had a great amateur career. You won the nationals. When did you start boxing?
I started when I was 13. Like, I never really wanted to do it. My mum sort of made me do it because my brother done it before, and I was just getting it, like being a little shit really. And my mum thought I'd get out there and get some discipline, and it worked really. I walked through the gym and I ain't looked back since.
What gym did you go?
Westbury ABC. It's in Mason. It was in Parkwood when I first started going, and then they moved to just above the bath store. You know where Terry Adderway's team used to be there, and then now they're in the YMCA in Lewes.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice. And what age did you start there?
13 I started.
You started 13?
Yeah, 13. I had my first fight. I started in the summer, and then I had my first fight in the October, and then, yes, I would have just been 14, I think, on my first fight.
And would you say you looked up to your brother when you first started? Was he quite ahead of the game?
I think, like, even though my brother's old, like, we're sort of like more like twins than anything, do you know what I mean? Rather than one being the older one being the younger one, really. But
how much older is he?
He's only 2 years. So it's quite close, and I mean we're always together now. Like we're more like, do you know what I mean? He's just like my best pal. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're always together. So I don't really see him as my older brother as such, if you know what I'm saying. But I literally, when I first started doing it, I wouldn't say I even wanted to aspire to be a fighter. Do you know what I mean? I was just going to keep my mum happy, otherwise she'd have a go at me. Do you know what I mean?
And are you competitive with Sean?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, I'm competitive with everything I do. I can't help it. It's just bred into me.
Who's better in the gym then?
Who's better in the gym? What is him? What? We're both different fighters. I'm not gonna bite to that one. But you know, he's got his style. I've got mine. We're both good operators. I mean, we're more competitive, I'd say, in like with Jordan, with the weights and that, than we are in the boxing ring, because obviously it's your own styles and you've got to cater to that.
Yeah, definitely. And he's got a bit of weight on you as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, not at the minute, I don't think he has, because he's fighting in a couple of weeks. See, I think he's floating around 69 kilo. He's only a couple of kilos, because I think he's going to do welter for his first fight, and then he might taper down to super lightweight, but we'll see how that goes.
And we were saying off air as well how big you are for 61.
Oh, big little fella, isn't I? That's what it is. It's big little fella.
Even in the other gym the other day on Instagram, he's like pulling 50 kilo dumbbells like it's nothing.
I've always been strong, boys. I think starting roofing at a young age helped me with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I reckon so.
So are you working as well as training?
No, that one today was just a favour to a friend. Like, I think when you get to a certain stage with the fights and that, it's just when you're in the gym 5 times a week, twice a week, it's a bit too much. Like, I mean, as an amateur, I used to run before work and that, but I think like needs must. Like, where I haven't got to do it now, I don't think I could go back to doing that, because I mean, roofing's hard graft, mate. Do you know what I mean? And then having to get home, go training, it's crazy.
And you need your rest as well.
Yeah, I mean, recovery is very important. Very important.
So going back to your amateur days, you were obviously in your amateur boxing club. You had your first bout when you were 14,
and
you did it for discipline.
Yeah,
I take it. But when did you start noticing the difference in that? When could you start noticing the change in your attitude? Or your mum could start noticing the change.
I think the thing is, it wasn't like I was like a horrible kid or anything. But I mean, like, I think when you're a young boy, that's what you kind of get up to. You always get up to mischief, didn't you? I mean, but I think as you get to 16, 17, and then I think that's when it's sort of, I feel like boxing makes you mature a little bit early. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and I always hung around with older people anyway, so I think it was all, I don't know really. I don't know what to say to that question, to be honest with you, boys. I think
could have took a few paths.
Yeah, maybe like, I mean, but you could say that about any young lad, do you know what I'm saying? I mean, with age comes maturity, doesn't it? So I don't know whether it was that big of a change, but I definitely, for me, like, it's nice to have that thing to focus on. I mean, especially with sport, I think, like, oh, you want to go out and do this on the weekend? I said, no, I can't, I'm fighting, or I've got to train. I think it's good to have that sort of discipline in your life.
Yeah. So how many amateur fights did you have?
I had 53 in the end.
Yeah. How many junior, youth, and senior? Do you remember?
I can't, not off the top. I think probably about 14 juniors and then a few youths, and then I excelled most as a senior, really.
Yeah. What did you achieve as a senior?
I got 2 NABCs.
Is that senior or is that youth?
Oh, yeah, NABCs would have been youth, and then I got 1 as a senior. And then I've got the Tri-Nations, Haringey.
Did you do Tri-Nations?
Yeah, because when you win, I won ABAs, and then obviously go straight into Tri-Nation. Because when I won ABAs, I had a chat, like, I got a phone call from Frank Warren saying, oh, like, come up, we want to have a chat. And then they said about turning over there and then, but obviously I'd never boxed in an England kit, do you know what I mean? Throughout the whole career, I never had the chance to do it. So I thought, I've got to do that before I turn over. And then we fought up in Scotland, and then I got the gold.
Amazing, mate. So when did you win the ABAs?
2019.
Was that the Opens?
Yeah, the elites, yeah.
Oh, nice. Who did you face? What weight was that, and who did you face?
64. I can't remember that. I remember one, Bradley Bethel. I remember him, but he was only a young lad sort of coming through. And then, because when obviously Luke McCormack and that, they were all sort of tied up with the Olympics and then Dalton Smith had turned over after winning the year previously. So, and then I fought Amar Akbar in the final, and he's pro now, so I'm with Frank Warren. So, because I had 4 fights and I stopped 3 out of the 4.
So you've always been pretty a big puncher.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, I suppose.
And that don't happen in the amateurs, really. You don't see many
No,
knockouts.
I think what someone said, like, I don't know how true it is, but I think only 2 people had done it before, and they were heavyweights. I was a bit gutted that I didn't get the whole set, to be honest with you. I was.
I remember seeing on Facebook you were boxing a really good guy. I can't remember his name, but yeah, you stopped him quite easily.
Yeah, I think that probably was I remember I boxed. He had the England kit on that in Southampton, and then obviously first round just caught him with a right hand, and then that was it.
Yeah, and you've always had good support, even in the amateurs. Like what I've seen on social media and stuff, you've had always a big backing.
I think what it is they know they're going to get a tear up, aren't they? Especially like it's a bit more controlled as a pro because you got longer time. But when I only had 3 rounds, it was just woof. I always used to take a couple of the first round. I remember when I fought Jacob Gabriel.
Oh, did you fight Jacob Gabriel?
Yeah. I remember like come out the first round. Kai hit some shots, and I come back to Lee. I sat down. I thought, Kai, if he's got another 2 like that, Lee, I said I'm in for a bit of trouble here. But he blew out, and then obviously got the stoppage in the 3rd.
Well, that's a good stoppage. I mean,
Yeah,
he's a
that
very
was
skillful
good. Yeah,
fighter.
very good fight. But I remember sitting down. I said to Lee, I was thinking, God, if he's got another 2 like that, I think I'm in for a rough old night here, boys.
So who was your toughest fight as an amateur?
God, it just seems like a lifetime ago to think back to it. Really, I mean, that was definitely up there because I can remember thinking, God, that was a tough first round.
Yeah.
But they all just feel like tear ups, to be honest.
I guess when you get to that level,
I used to get real sore ears. Yeah, I remember after the Harringay, as soon as they took the head guard off, I used to get like big bruised ears and that. It's horrible. It was.
Did you never box without the head guards?
Yeah.
you didn't?
I think because as soon as I turned senior, there was no head guards.
Yeah, it was
No head guards. But I think I prefer it anyway. I don't think I'd ever would have preferred because with head guard, it feels like it shakes your whole head. Do you know what I'm saying? It spreads it everywhere. Whereas when you take it off, it's just sort of where you get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like head guards.
I guess there's some sort of things that people don't like because of the cuts that happens in the amateurs now.
I think people get used to that now. Where it's been brought in now, people sort of wise up to it a little bit. But I think when that took it, you feel a bit more free, yeah. And then obviously when I went pro and you take the shot off, it's like even bloody hell, even more elusive. It is good. It is good, yeah.
And what size gloves are they compared to when you was amateurs? Probably 8 ounces. Are they?
8 ounce, yeah. But I feel they're 8s, but they're even they're just made harder. I remember like when you get hit in the amateurs, you don't really feel it, do you? And then I got hit with a jab in my pro fight, and I remember thinking, oh, that's a little bit harder than they used to be. But yeah, them 8 ounces are brutal.
So how was it turning over from the amateurs? I love asking this question. Like, obviously, you go from 3 hard rounds having a scrap to a bit more controlled, sitting on your shots.
Well, when you go in the four rounds ain't really that much different to 3, really. I think the difference for me is obviously being in the gym 5 times a week. How you excel as a boxer, do you know what I'm saying? Because you think with an amateur, you're in there 3 days a week because obviously the coaches are there like, on their own back. They don't get paid to be there, so they've got to work. So, but I mean, when you're in the gym 5 times a week, and then I'm like. You go from, obviously with Westry, you go from being a superstar in the gym to being in a gym with superstars. Do you know what I'm saying? And with the sparring, it's just incredible, and it brings you on like leaps and bounds.
And your coach at Westry, is it Lee?
Yeah, Lee Owen. Like obviously Brad Brooks was there, Brad Urquhart, Eddie, but Lee was my main one.
Yeah, he's brought so many champions.
Yeah,
through.
no, he's a good coach, Lee. Very good. He always goes that extra mile. Do you know what I mean? Which makes the difference. Like, he used to go in there with me on a Tuesday and a Friday as well. So obviously that makes the difference.
When you got to that level in the amateurs to the elite, like did he start taking you for extra sessions and?
Yeah,
make
he
sure
was
you got...
like, because he used to do like a kids class on a Tuesday, and I'd go down there and he'd give me 6-7 rounds of pads as well. But I think you've always got to, like, in your head, you've always got to be trying to do that extra bit, thinking, oh, no one else is doing that. You've always got to try and do that extra bit.
Always get that mental edge.
Yeah, go that extra mile. Do you know what I mean?
That's what you see in the top athletes, don't they? You may train two times a day.
Yeah.
They'll make sure they get up 4 o'clock in the
I
morning and
think
get that first
that's the
session.
difference, isn't it? You've got to be willing to go that extra mile, not just do the bare minimum.
Yeah, quality, man.
So when did you sign with Frank?
2019, I think, in the May. So I went up to watch. I won ABAs and then got a phone call saying, "Oh, do you want to come up and watch Billy Joe Saunders fight at Stevenage for the world title?" And I thought, "Yeah, I'll go on and we'll go out there." Like, and then
Who did you fight that year? Well, was it when you put that performance, low bar performance? Was it that year?
I'm not too sure. I think it was. I can't remember. Who he was fighting. I'd never heard of him before. But went up there and then had a chat with Francis, manager. He said, like, we want to sign you. I'll come up to the office next week and we'll have a little chat. I went up there and then, yeah, here we are 3 years later.
3 years in the game now.
3 years it is. It'll be 3 years this May. Oh, yeah, this month.
Quality. So he's got so much young talent in his gyms. You got obviously the iBox gym. We had Ian Weaver on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's funny, Ian Weaver. He said, did you ask Ian Weaver one time about if those two, you and him, fought? He was very skillful, wasn't he, back in the day?
Yeah, well, I'm glad I ain't in there having to sparring, mate. He's nasty. I reckon he's vicious, mate, in there. I said, I'm glad he's got passed through before I got to spar him.
Yeah, he was a very good fighter back in the day.
Seen a lot of videos of him, mate. Incredible.
Southpaw class, yeah. No, that would have been good though, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would have been a good little tear up. I reckon I'd been getting a few shots there, definitely. Been a rough old few nights for me, that would.
So what was it like going to iBox gym for the first time? Obviously, like you said, you were the superstar in Westbury. Everyone knew, like, you were winning titles, you were knocking guys out, and then you're going pro. How was it going into a gym full of such talent where all of a sudden you're among so many other superstars?
I think it's nice to be even sort of put in the same room with all them boys. I mean, there's some incredible fighters in there. I mean, but they're all nice lads. I mean, Al, Ed and Paul, they're all very welcoming. So you always felt straight at home. Like, it wasn't like you got in there and it was all full of egos. Like, obviously, good people there's egos in the gym, but everyone sort of mashes together and gets on really well. Yeah, so it all sort of worked sweet, really.
What sort of talent is in the gym? Who you got in
there? Mate, loads of them. You got Kevin Ajarko.
I'll put you on the spot.
They're all talented. Pierce O'Leary, Elliot Whale, Dennis, Henry, Mickey Burt. I'm going to forget someone. I know Jordan Reynolds. I know there's loads of boys in there. Sky Nicholson, she's just joined.
Yeah.
There's like Levi, he's in there. I know there's going to be one more that I forgot to say, and they're going to go mad at me. But it's just everyone in there is a talented kid. They've all won loads of national titles. Do you know what I'm saying?
So you, as I said, iron sharpens iron. So you got.
Oh yeah, I just sharpen all. Yeah, see, I told you I forget one, wasn't I?
I know, so iron sharpened iron, but yeah, you got him in there as well.
That's what I knew I forget one. Yeah.
So that must help you with sparring and stuff and pushing you on in training, right?
Yeah. The thing is, it's like you've got all different styles. I mean, you've got Dennis, who's a quick southpaw. Henry's a class boxer. Elliot, tall, rangy. Archie, switch hitter, moves every which way. You can't get hold of him. Do you know what I mean? And then Ginge, who's a rough and ready fighter. Do you know what I'm saying? So you've got it all there for me, and they're all sort of around my weight anyway, so it also works sweet for me. I don't really spar that much out of the gym.
How would you sum up your style?
I'd say rough and ready as well, to be honest with you. That's what I'd say, yes. Just strong, come forward fighter.
I think Ian said you're like a steam train. I think that was his quote the other week.
I don't like going backwards, no.
What keeps you going? Why did you adapt that style? Is it, what is your mentality towards that? I just think you've got to sort of work with the tools you're given. I mean, like, I was never this like class, slick boxer. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind taking a few to give a few, to be honest with you. Like, everyone says boxing's a sweet science, hit and don't be hit. I'd just say hit them more than they hit you. Do you know what I mean? And then you're sweet.
Especially 8-ounce gloves.
Oh yeah. They are brutal, mate. I'd rather box in 10s, I think. A little bit more security on your hands there.
I thought it was 10s. Or is it above 64 is 10s?
Above 67, above welter. Welters are still 8s, I think, I believe, at championship weight anyway.
Oh.
And then they go to 10s. But imagine like Anthony Joshua hitting you with a pair of 10-ounce gloves. Do you know what I mean?
No, one of my mates actually sparred with him at GB. And he says he got punched and it ruined his retina.
Yeah, I mean, but I think because one of the Atama brothers, they sparred him, yeah, and he said that he wears 22s.
Who, Joshua does?
Yeah, 22-ounce gloves. Oh. That's what I'm saying. You think, mate. I don't think you'd have to pay me a lot of money to get punched by that, I think.
Yeah, boxing's a tough sport when you start
What
thinking
do
that.
you think of him, like Joshua and the heavyweights, Fury and all that? What do you?
Well, they're all the top of their game, aren't they? I know everyone sort of writes Joshua off because he's had a couple of losses, but bloody hell, he's a multi-millionaire out of it, mate. He's definitely done well. He ain't like...
Smashed it.
But I mean, I think the only fight I'd really like to see out of them heavyweights now would be Joshua and Fury, really. Like, I don't think Fury, Usyk, or if Usyk beats him, he sells as much as Joshua Fury for me.
Yeah. Who do you reckon will win that, Joshua or Usyk?
I don't know. I think Joshua's going to have to stick it on him, really. If he does what he does last time, I don't think he's going to win. No, he's going to have to come with a different game plan, really.
Yeah, I think he made a mistake. Well, everyone says it now. He made a mistake boxing, holding off him.
Yeah,
and he should use that brute strength that he's got,
he's
doesn't
a
he?
smaller man, I think just stick it on him for 6 rounds to see how you get on. If he's still there, then
The old
he's still
AJ.
there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, because I remember before, he always used to just be on him, and then I watched the Parker fight, and then he sort of just sat off and boxed
Bit
out.
cagey.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then like, that was sort of the turning point for me, really.
I think that Ruiz fight changed him, though, didn't it?
Yeah, he didn't expect that.
But I think they said he got knocked out in sparring on the week of that fight. So I think his mentality going into it was
I think he was doing well before that fight. Like Ruiz didn't have a chance, didn't he? And then he just got tagged. But that's heavyweight boxing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're big old boys to get hit by.
Ruiz is fast, and
Yeah,
he's
that's what I'm
fast and
saying.
sharp.
And the shots on the side of the head, and what's that like in the pro? Have you had any dirty tactics yet compared to your amateurs?
No, because I'm quite rough anyway, to be honest. Like, so no, but I am no boys, so
You knew it
I don't
already.
really mind it. Like, I've not really been in the clinches too much, to be honest. They're more trying to keep away from me.
Oh, they're really
But,
boxing
like,
you from the
well,
outside.
they're just trying to keep away. I think that's the trick, isn't
Do
it?
you do much training with the clinches in case?
I
Or-
think I've just sort of naturally adapted to it over the years anyway. Like, so I wouldn't, like, they show you little tricks about like when you get your lead knee in between the legs and then you can twist them and that. But obviously you're not strictly allowed to do things like that. But Alan, that showed you little tricks on the inside that I've sort of adapted into the program. Yeah.
I just want to go back on that, just the Joshua one. Joshua Fury. Who do you reckon?
I reckon Fury wins that.
Yeah.
I do. I don't think Joshua beats him, to be honest.
He's too skillful at the moment.
Yeah,
isn't he?
he's big and all, and he's 6'9", bloody hell. It's got long reach as well, isn't he? He's just awkward.
I really want to see it. To be honest. Like, it's so sad how anticlimactic it is. Like they were so close to signing.
Yeah, I know. I think it might happen. If it's meant to be, it'll be, innit? Do you know what I mean? I think Fury says he's retired, but I think if Joshua wins, that fight's getting made. Because
That'd be
there ain't no
huge,
way you're
wouldn't
saying no to 100 million or whatever. There's
Yeah.
ridiculous
That goes to one of those Arab countries.
Yeah.
What
isn't it?
what they're going to get paid. You ain't never going to say no to that.
Love to be on the undercard, wouldn't you?
God, yeah, Jesus, would I? Yeah, that'd be good. Would be good.
So with your training, like you're climbing mountains, you're doing marathons. I see your strength conditioning's crazy. When did you start upping it from going from the 4-rounders? When did you obviously start, because you're training for 10-rounders now? When did you start adapting to that?
Well, I think the training, like, it's just more with the sparring. Like, you'll be sparring more rounds. Like, obviously, with the 4-rounders, you'll be sparring 4 rounds. Like, now I'm doing, like, 2 8-rounders a week, and then you're, boom, straight back on the bag, 4 hard rounds. You know what I mean? I think you just adapt. It's like, you don't see it like, it's not like an overnight change. It's like where you'd go 4, 6, 8, 10. It's like a slowly, and then it just gets harder and harder as you're going through. Do you know what I'm saying? Rather than just going right 4-round and then boom, straight in. So it's always been, I think it's always going to be hard anyway. I mean, all running marathons and that, I don't do that in camp. I wouldn't be allowed. That's just sort of...
What time did you run it in as well?
Oh, I've done the Brighton one in, I've done it like 3:02. Yeah, I wanted to get in I want under 3 hours, but I didn't do no nutrition. I didn't have breakfast in the morning. Yeah, I just got up, ran, and then I got to mile 18, and my calf just sort of like went like that, twitched, and I thought, oh no.
It was hot as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was red hot, and obviously I dropped all my gels. Yeah, so I couldn't even get no salts in to get the water in. Oh, mate, is on there, and then I got to the last bit, like, and then I got into I could see the finish. It was about 3 miles, and I just bolt upright. I had cramp from my feet to my lower back. Yeah. I went out of breath. I just couldn't go, and then hobbled across the line 3 minutes over the time. Oh mate, I was mad.
That's
I was.
impressive,
Oh, mate, I could have
though.
cried, mate, honestly. And then it was like 700 metres too long as well, the course.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably would have got it then.
Well, yeah, the way I was running, yeah, so bit of a nightmare, really.
When I did the
What's the
Brighton
average
Mar-
pace? What was the...
I think for the first 15 miles, I was under 6-minute miles. I was flying. I was like, I'm a fairly good runner, to be honest. But I was flying. I had my little headphones on. I was loving it. I was having a little sing song. Everyone all cheering you on. And then boom, my calf went, and I thought, oh no, I thought like 18 miles. It's still a while away. And then got to about 23, and it just went. I couldn't. I was in a bad way after. I had my toes going under. I couldn't get my clothes on, because my toes were cramping. It was horrible. It was.
No.
And I thought,
The atmosphere is good though, isn't it?
yeah, it's brilliant. When you're running through like the main bit, it's unreal, and then you get to that little industrial estate at the other
Nuclear
end.
power plant.
Yeah,
You just keep seeing...
no one's there. It's the worst bit as well, and you're thinking, oh my god, it's horrible. But it's a good experience. I'd like to do another one. I don't think Al would let me, but I would like to do another one because I reckon with a little bit of training, I didn't really train for that either. I'd done one half marathon beforehand and then just went straight in for it.
Wow, yeah.
And then, but I went with a bit of training. I reckon I could probably do sub 240. Yeah, no, I reckon I could. Yeah, I ain't
That's
too bad at
impressive.
running, especially when you get there race day, everyone all cheering you on. Like, I reckon I could do it.
Have you always been good at running? Have you worked at it?
I've always been able to run. I don't mind it really. Like I feel like you think the worst thing you can do is just stop running. No one's punching you, no one's hurting you. It's like lifting weights, isn't it? If you can't lift it, you put it down, isn't it? It's like, but I always got in my head of once, like even when I do 5k, yeah, I get to 2.5. It's all downhill from then. Do you know what I mean? You only got a few
It's
minutes.
the way
there.
home after that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think running's just mental. It's like you're not gonna stop. You've always got that little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It's just whether you want to give it or not.
What time do you do 5k in? What's that?
On the treadmill, I'll do it on 15:08 is what I'll do it on.
The speed 15.
No.
He'll do it in 15 minutes.
You do it 15 minutes?
15 minutes and 8 seconds, yeah.
Impressive.
What speed is that on there?
It's like an
Max.
average of 19.78 or something, just under 20 kilometres for the whole thing.
Man, mate, you
Yeah.
one of these,
Well, if the boxing don't work out, I'm going to become a runner, boys.
Yeah, mate. But
Well,
that's-
why did you say Eddie wouldn't let you do any more marathon? Just because it's
No, well,
contrasting
it's a lot
to-
of strain on your body as well, really. Like they didn't really know about that one, but obviously I booked it up and just done it anyway. But I don't think it's like it's unnecessary strain on you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, it clashes with the explosive.
But it's a lot of stress on the body. A lot of stress on the body, and if you're like, say you're fighting and you get an injury or something, like I've got an injury running a marathon for nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Just more wanting to do
It's
it,
achievement,
yeah,
isn't
just
it?
to
Yeah.
beat your own time. I've done 2 now. I've done one in lockdown and then done that Brighton one,
What time did you get in the lockdown?
3:14.
So you've quit naturally.
Yeah, I've done. Well, that was literally we'd done the night shift. I got up. I said to one of the boys. I said, "Oh, I'll do it." It was Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
I said, "Oh, I'm going to do a long run today, just like 20 miles or something like that." Yeah. Started running, and he's on the FaceTime to his bird at the time, and she was like, "Well, if you're going to do 20, you might as well do a marathon." And I thought, yeah, this is a fair point, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And ended up doing it. 3:14 it was.
That's crazy. And what was the recovery like there? A few days off, or
I was all right. The next day I was sore, like, obviously, but then after that, I don't like sitting about, boys. I get bored.
Yeah, fair play.
and then obviously strength conditioning. Like you're lifting crazy weight. You said off. What's your bench?
Yeah, my best bench is 120, just for one though. I can't do too many of that.
So it's nearly double your competition weight.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I squat 140 as well for 2, so that's double weight.
Is that like good technique with Jordan? You say?
My flexibility, like I don't do arse to grass. No, I can't get that low, but it counts. It counts. So
As long as you got it on your back and you're going.
yeah, I mean we done the box squat like 180. That like the one where you sit on the box and do that.
Yeah.
That was 180. That's a lot of weight to have on your back though.
Yeah, I
Bloody
bet.
hell, fuck. Honestly, even standing,
triple your
just,
weight, isn't it?
even just standing that out the rack, it's heavy.
Just got to keep it. Yeah, I can't imagine even carrying 180.
You know, where you think they like them boys are sweating 200 and that. It's a lot of weight, boys. A lot of weight.
So is there a lot of friendly competition when you're doing strength conditioning?
Oh, always. Even like, I'll try and keep up with like Enrico and Carol. I mean, they're big boys and they push heavy weight, but I'll try and keep up with them. I don't do that so well, but I'll keep trying.
Who are the people you train with for the people listening?
With strength, it's normally I just train on my own really, but then some of the times overlap, so we'll see what they're doing. Or Jordan would tell me, "Oh, one of the boys done this," and then I'll go, "Oh, go on, then I'll give it a go, see if I can beat that."
So what boxes has he got though?
With Jordan, he's
Yeah.
got me, Sean. I think Martin's with him. The Atuma brothers, Carol and Enrico. Samuel, the brother, he trains with him as well. He's got a few. I think Jimmy Dean Wood. He's got just won the Southern area belt yesterday. I think Mason Payne started with him, so he's got a good stable up there.
They both won, I think. I saw it,
Both boxed really well yesterday. Yeah, both got the Southern area belt.
Is it Lewis Payne? Is that his brother?
No, I don't think they're related. I think they've obviously just got the same surname. But I
Yeah.
think Lewis boxed as well yesterday. I'm not too sure.
He can bang. I remember at
Yeah, good
Gurkhas.
fighter, mate.
Yeah, like
Good
well,
fighter.
he was a bit younger, but I was only like I think 15 at the time. But I just took him on pads. And, yeah,
Yeah, he's always big for his age though. Always big for his age.
Massive. Well, even you, to be honest, you got freak genetics of what you.
Yeah, I weren't big though. I was only small. I weren't big. That's why everyone calls me Mids, innit? But
Is that the
you
nickname?
think what I was like in school, mate? I remember when I was like year 8 and that, I went in a barber shop, yeah, and I was like, I'll have a four on the top, 3 on the sides, thinking it's going to be like a French crop. It wasn't. It was like a buzz cut, wasn't I? So I was that little kid with the big bag and the bald head, mate. Honestly, no good. I was dear. I was tiny. I was.
So would you say as well, boxing, obviously you easily could have gone another path, just in parties, like you've got a lot of mates that...
Yeah, I think, but that's just normal life, innit? I don't think that's a bad... Like, it's just people, that is what it is, isn't it? People get out, go out, do you know what I mean? Work Monday to Friday and go out on the weekends. I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But I think, for me, it's more like... I'd like to be a millionaire at the end of all this, to be honest with you boys. Like, I'd like not to have to work again, or maybe open my own gym, do the amateur coaching, do you know what I'm saying? And I don't think I'd be able to do that doing anything else other than fighting.
So is boxing your true passion now? Is that you don't see yourself doing anything else?
No, I think that's me. I mean, I'd be a trainer. Like, I don't think I'd be a pro trainer, yeah, but amateur gym, you know what I mean? I think that's a good thing to do. You know, like from being that kid going in there, like to how I am now as a man, like I'm confident, like I'm happy. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd like to do that. I think that's a good achievement for other people to do in your life. Like I think Lee, like look, he took me from a kid to then winning the ABA to being a Tri-Nation gold medalist. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's quite a fulfilling thing to do.
Yeah,
I could see myself doing that.
It's amazing, man. I didn't realise you won the ABAs. Or you won the
yeah.
Tri-Nation, so that's a great achievement. It's obviously giving you that confidence to go in the
that's
pros.
what I'm saying. Like we started off. I remember just going and running when I was a kid. Like, you hear about all these boys like your Ted Cheesemans and all these winning ABAs, and I think, I wonder if I could. Like, I'd love to do that, but you never really see yourself doing it till it happens. And I remember afterwards when I done it, obviously all the fights, I just sat there like that, thinking, I can't believe this has happened. Like.
Surreal.
It just felt weird. Do you know what I mean? Like to just go, like everyone was like, we're going out after. I said no. I said I went and got a nice little burger with my mum and my trainers, and then just went home like just like that. Couldn't sleep. Do you know what I mean?
Holding your belt on
Yeah,
tight.
it's just mad, mate.
Oh yeah, the belts are good
amazing.
as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it's good that they brought that in. I mean, even for the Southern Areas and that, I think that
Southern Area
will
belts,
spur kids on to go that little bit extra. Do you know what I mean?
Was you meant to box Waleed at one point? I think I heard back from Heart of Portsmouth.
Yeah, we were meant, because that's the night I fought Jake Gable, because we were meant to fight for the Southern Area 64 belt, but then for some reason we didn't, and then he come in, and obviously where I was training and went down there, so obviously Jacob took that on a last little, a last minute fight.
He's always in shape though, Jacob.
Yeah, that's
He's
what I'm saying, always in the
shape.
gym, and then we ended up fighting, I think because he was a little bit heavier than me, because obviously I'll come in for the 64, but I think he was the weight above anyway.
Who's that? Waleed.
No, Jacob Gabriel.
Wasn't he 64?
I think the time I fought him was when he was sort of stopping, going down to that weight, and then went up to 69s because he's quite big.
Is he quite big now? Has he gone pro?
Yeah, I think he's pro. He's pro. He's had a few fights.
Has he really? Who's he gone pro with?
I'm not too sure. I know. Obviously, I think he's kept the same coach because I think they're a pro gym down there as well, aren't they? Bases?
Yes.
I think so. But I don't know who he signed with.
Oh, okay. No, he was good back in the day. So what else is you're obviously in the iBox gym? When's your next fight? What's coming up for you?
Nothing's been confirmed, but it's looking like July. I think that's
July.
when that'll be the next one. I think it's just another defence of this one, and then maybe push on back at the end of the year.
Step up.
Yeah, should be. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say to boys. They just tell me who I'm fighting, and I just get in and fight them. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's the way you got to be. I don't want to be one of these fighters who picks fight. I said I'll leave that solely to Al, and whoever he tells me I've got to fight, I'll fight.
Fair play.
What was it like
Fighter's
doing your
mentality.
first 10-rounder?
The first one, it was in my. I said earlier, it's in my head because I went from only doing 6 rounds and then only doing 5 of them to getting in with a 10, and I'm thinking, God, that's a long old time. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why I sort of sat off a little bit, was just sort of throwing my jab on that. But I think once I got that, like that fight for me was a brilliant learning fight. Now, like you don't even think, I've got 10 rounds. Do you know what I'm saying? You just get in there and do your thing, innit, and then see what happens.
Levels.
Yeah, you got to get used to it, innit? Be 12 soon enough. I'll just get used to 10 and they go, right, now you got to fight 12.
You're gonna keep pushing you, which is what you want, don't you?
Yeah, you obviously want to just keep getting better with every fight.
Yeah, you don't want to have too many wars in the. Actually, saying that in the gym, do you have many wars in there?
Yeah, I've had a few wars. I think sparring's probably harder than the fights at the minute. I mean, with the calibre of boys we're in there mixing it with, it's gonna be hard. But I think obviously it's all just good learning. I think you don't want too many because you don't want to put too many miles on the clock, really. But I think everyone in the gym, we all get on now, so we've all got a good understanding of how to work together to benefit everyone. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good.
Do the coaches set the incentive, sort of set the guidelines before you go into sparring, or is it just go in there, open spar?
It's open. It's always open sparring. I mean, we're all pros now, and I mean, it's not boxing's not for the faint-hearted either. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just open sparring, but obviously you ain't there. Your stable mates. You ain't like don't want you spar hard, but it ain't like if you ever wobbled anyone that you'd be like right pants. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're not like that. Like your pals, aren't they? So.
And what sponsors have you got?
I've got a few. I'm very lucky with the sponsors, to be fair. And I'm gonna, if I name them, I'm gonna forget them. But I've got
a lot. Sorry,
that's what I'm saying. No, that's all. No, ain't your fault. But I've got like Fastlane. They've been with me since day one. ACS Scaffolding and the Hospitality Centre. They're probably like my three main ones. But then Swift Roofing. He's been with me since I've been an amateur as well.
Is that Ben, the footballer?
Yeah, Ben Swift. He's old man's firm. They've been with me since back in the amateur days. Bought me a set of gloves and everything. He did. But
what gloves?
I can't remember now, it's years ago, mate. But it's just like, I've got a few. Champs Boxing, they look after me as well. Inkfish Studios, Robux give me my food.
Okay.
Yeah, so
they've always got good meat up
there.
Yeah,
I'm quite lucky. I'm quite lucky with sponsors, really. They do look after me. HCC Motors, they've been with me since the amateur days as well. Look after my cars, so they're all good lads.
So when did you stop working full-time and go full-time at boxing?
I was lucky that I was introduced with Fastlane. I had a chat with him and he said like, what do you want to do? And I remember like hearing like what offers people said in the gym, and then he said like, he sort of shrugged it off, and then he said like what do you need? And I said obviously ideally I need like my bills paid just so I can train full time, and like he's looked after me ever since. You know what I'm saying? So I've been very lucky with that respect. So as soon as I signed the pro contract, I was managed to stop working. But I don't mind going in, doing a little bit here and there. Do you know what I mean? When the sun's shining, I've got a lot of free time, boys. So
It's quite hard graft, isn't it, Rufus?
Yeah, but you know, like the difference of going in with like a couple, like I only work with Swifty as well, so it's like working with your best pal. Do you know what I'm saying? So it ain't even that bad. I could do that a couple of days a week, like on a Tuesday and Thursday when the training ain't as heavy, so it ain't too bad. I quite enjoy being in that work environment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like being able to keep him busy. It's good.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah. Nice. And well, I guess we have sort of pushed on this, but what is next? What do you want in your career over the next year?
Over the next year, I'd like to be British champion. Over the next year, I think that's like one of the things I'd want.
Who's the British champion at 60?
It is Gavin Gwynn. He's got the Commonwealth and the British. So.
And is he with with Frank Warren?
No, he was with MTK, but obviously they are no more, aren't they? So.
What's going on with that then?
Boys, I ain't got a clue, mate. Because I'm not managed by them, so I don't really know. So everything's a little bit up in the air in a minute. I don't know what the boys are doing, because I know a couple of the boys in the gym were signed and managed by them. So I don't know what the crack is.
How's the boys feeling about that though? Is it quite uncertain for him at the moment? I'm sure someone will sign him up.
Oh yeah, I think I don't think that's obviously the end of anyone's careers, but I think it's a little bit something you don't ever feel like you're gonna have to deal with. Do you know what I'm saying? So. I don't know, but Al's a good mentor. He knows what he's doing, so he'll look after all the boys anyway. So
as long as they stay active, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's the key in anyone's career, is being active. I don't think you don't want to go stale.
And how did it go from fighting most weeks? You know, like your last year in the amateurs, you were winning everything, knocking guys out. You were really active. How did it go from that to now? You're saying you're only really going to fight 3 times a year.
It was difficult at first. It was difficult. You know, like when you're only doing 4 rounders as well. Yeah. It was difficult. Like, you want to get back out there. Especially like a couple of them, like stop them in the first round. You do all that camp, and then it's like,
all
a few months. Do you know what I mean? But
should give him a few more chances.
Yeah, well, don't get paid for overtime, boys. That's true. Do you know what I mean? Get it done. But as you just sort of fall into it. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just sort of the way the pro game works. So it's like, as I said, I've been pro for years now. So the amateurs is sort of like a distant memory for me, really. So.
Bit more patience now, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean the training's harder. I mean, so sometimes it's nice to just have that bit of free time off. Do you know what I mean? Be a normal person for a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Eat what you want, stay up. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's nice to have that bit of downtime.
I'd definitely say your career so far, you've had a great path from Frank. I think what he's done with the young talent, like when I was in Australia, the amount of times I'd be watching it in the morning, like you've been on the Daniel Dubois cards, like you've had such a good exposure already, and you've got such a good following. You've got so many ticket sales.
Yeah, I think I've been looked after. I mean, I've got a real good relationship with Francis, and like we work really well together. And I think out of all my fights, I've only not been on the telly once. For my second fight, that was the only one not on the TV. So I've had it really good, to be honest. So. I can't grumble. Like I've been well looked after. But as I said, I didn't think I'd be as far ahead now as I am. If you'd have asked me at the start of my career what would have happened, I would have said, I ain't got a clue. Do you know what I mean? But it's flying. It's going really well.
That's amazing to hear. No, it's great. So what's your... Obviously, you said you want to be a millionaire. You said you want to achieve that goal. How do you achieve that, man? How far do you reckon you can go in the
becoming
sport?
world champion. Like, I think, like, if you're not in it, I'm in it to go all the way. Like, I know that's going to be a long road, and I know there's going to be challenges, but I'm willing to go that extra mile and go all the way. So, like, why not? Do you know what I mean? It all starts as a dream once upon a time, innit? No one ever just like... It's just if it's meant to be, it'll be.
What do you reckon the lightweight division on world level at the moment?
No, it's flying, isn't it? It would be, wouldn't it?
It's best in the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nice, difficult one for me, but I'm willing to do it. I think even you get me in that position in Vegas fighting 12 rounds, man. I'll tell you what, you see a different fight there. You know when you just think, right, 12 rounds to being a world champion. Sure.
Who would you want to fight right now at that weight?
You know what? I think they all offer something different. I don't know if I'd pick one over the other, to be honest. I mean, they can all fight, can't they? I think you just go with whatever you gave them. I mean, for me, I know he's coming off a win, George Kambosos, but I mean, if you would have went before that Lopez fight, you wouldn't have picked him to. No, well, I didn't.
Yeah.
I remember when I woke up in the morning, I thought I ain't even going to watch that. I thought I'm not even going to watch it. I thought you'd have stopped him.
It's one of those things where you think too much of one fighter. And it happened obviously recently with Canelo.
Yeah.
Bivol. It's the same situation with that.
Well, I think what Lopez done is obviously he's overlooked him himself. You know, the same way you could say Lomachenko did with Lopez.
Yeah.
But also he was a lot bigger than Lomachenko, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's brought... Because when you see the face-off, I don't think he's that tall. Because, I mean, it's only so big and tall you can be to make the weight, yeah? Like, but... I think Lomachenko just overlooked him. I think that's the long and short of it, to be honest.
I think as well, Lopez, he boxed so well in the early rounds that Loma couldn't get any shots in. Really,
that's what I mean,
power.
He went in there with the underdog mentality, and he's got nothing to lose, isn't he? And then obviously beat Lomachenko, then he now thinks, I'm the man. And then George Kambosos comes in thinking, I'm giving it everything, and then he got to win. That was a cracking fight.
Yeah,
very good fight.
It's a shame it was done in lockdown, wasn't it? It got no crowd and.
No, I think they did have. I think they had crowd.
For Lomachenko?
Lomachenko. Lopez. No, I think there was a few people there.
Was it really?
Yeah, there was not full capacity, but there was a few people there. I think.
I'm sure that was in Lomachenko Lopez. Was that in lockdown?
Yeah, it might. I thought there was a couple of people there. I'm not sure.
You can have like a few. Crowd
it wasn't full crowd though. Otherwise, yeah. I remember where you think Lopez, Luke Campbell sold out the O2. So.
Lomachenko, Luke Campbell.
Oh yeah. Lomachenko, yeah. That's it.
I was there for that, mate.
Did you go there? Did you?
Apparently, he made a loss on that as well, Eddie Hearn.
Did he really?
He said he paid Lomachenko quite a lot of money, and it wasn't. Was it for the stadium? O2.
Yeah.
Was it for that? Wait, I've read his book. He said he made such a big loss on that fight.
Well, it's just because the undercard, Eddie Hearn's got such good undercards that it was stacked anyway. Like Charlie Edwards on there, Joe Cordina.
That's what I'm saying. You
Hughie Fury.
Is that who he had on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. That's a big bill, mate.
Yeah.
That's a big bill to have Lomachenko head in it as well.
Yeah.
What do you think of Lomachenko? Still one of the best?
Fine. Where you look, he come back and he fought that Japanese geezer that Lopez didn't stop, and he made light work of him, didn't he? Stopped him.
He did.
I think he just took his foot off the gas a little bit with that. I know there's people said he had a shoulder injury as well, or whatever beforehand, but...
Yeah, he's had it for the last few years. He's had operations and stuff, so I'd love to see what he's like as 100%.
Well, I mean, even you look at when he boxed that... Comey, is it?
Yeah.
And he was looking at his corner going, come on, pull him out. Do you know what I mean?
He was named that Comey though, wasn't he?
Yeah, because Lopez fought him, didn't he? That's who he won his world title.
Richard Comey, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
he
stopped him in the first or second round, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just hit him with a right hand.
He's got a lot of power though. That's why he's moved up. He can't handle the weight.
Yeah, he can't get the weight cut down.
And then, what do you think of Devin Haney fighting Kambosos? I think it's a 50-50 myself.
I reckon Devin Haney beats him, to be honest.
Yeah,
I do. Because the thing is, what George Kambosos has now done is let everyone know that he is no mug. You can't sleep on him. Do you know what I'm saying? So now Haney's going in there with the same mentality that if he fought Linares or what, do you know what I'm saying? That he's got a tough fight.
Haney faded against Linares. It really, he has a lovely jab. He was doing good, but Linares did get through some stuff.
Linares probably hits harder than him though, doesn't he?
He caught him as well, didn't he? He made him do a little dance.
Yeah, in the 12th round or whatever.
Was it 26? I thought it was middle rounds.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, boys. Maybe
somewhere in that.
A few times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but I'd say he's more of a vicious fighter, isn't he? Like Kambosos is just like a wasp, and he like fast.
I don't know if you can sleep on Kambosos on this fight as well. He's fighting in Australia.
Oh, boys, as I said, I don't call no fights. Whatever I say, the opposite happens anyway.
Right, good. Let me know. I'll bet on that the opposite side. Then now I know.
But out of all the big names, who would you want to share the ring with? Is there anyone where you would love to just say, at the end of your pro career, that, you know, you box the likes of...
God, it would be so good to say you boxed Lomachenko, wouldn't it? But
He's a little bit older now, and he's
Yeah,
about 35.
by the time I get up there, he'll be gone, I reckon, to be honest.
You never know. He's... Well,
Well,
actually...
you never know if he hangs about.
Amateur fight.
What's he got to be, 33, 34? Easily.
He's 35. Yeah,
30, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
34,
Is he 35?
He,
34,
he's got 2
35,
gold
yeah.
medals in 2 Olympics, isn't he? So that's
Yeah.
8 years there.
Yeah, 400 amateurs. It's just...
Some record, isn't it?
What a guy.
One loss.
So it'd be Lomachenko you'd want to
Madness,
box.
mate. That one loss would make piss you off on it.
Yeah.
he
He
avenged
beat him
it.
like 3 times as well, didn't he? After that.
But they reckon he got robbed anyway, didn't he?
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, for that, I think.
Yeah, and also he had a big problem when he turned pro because he had a real rough and ready world champion in his second fight.
Yeah, when he wanted to go straight in for his first one, didn't he? I mean, but that just shows you they are different games, aren't they?
Yeah. So when you obviously had, you boxed for England back in the day, did you? Was there any other countries that you were looking out for? Is there any other big 64 kilos that you wanted to fight?
No, because obviously it was a tri-nation. Like, I just sort of, I've just always been the same. Whoever's they put in front of me, like I don't ever look around thinking, you know what, I want to pick him. Because if you're going to pick who you want to fight, everyone's always going to taper it, so you get someone more suited for you to win, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I just say like.
That's why Francis Roach must love you.
Just whoever it
just
is,
do
innit?
whatever
Well,
it is.
it's true though, innit? I mean, I'm not in here to pick people to beat. I just fight whoever they tell me to, innit? Like, you can't be like, oh, no, I don't want to fight him. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Have you fought anyone yet that sort of disrespects you? And obviously you're going to be getting to the press conferences, and in your career you're going to deal with a lot of media.
Yeah, not yet. I've not. Like, I've been quite lucky that I always show respect. You know what I mean? The only time it will come out of me is just once they start giving it, then I'll just give it back. But I've been quite lucky. I mean, like, you get people try disrespecting German as well, but I think pro boxing wouldn't be here without them. Do you know what I mean? They're brave old boys getting in there, getting their head punched in. Do you know what I'm saying?
Week,
So I'm not that type of guy anyway. Do you know what I mean? We got enough time to be horrible to each other. Yeah. I don't need to do it outside of the cameras and that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. Love it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Midge. It's been a pleasure, mate.
No problem. Pleasure having me, boys.
Nah, mate, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Quality.
Cheers, guys. If you can like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for next time. Cheers.